Parashat Chayei Sarah. Avraham Avinu is looking for a wife for his son Yitzchak. He sends his slave Eliezer to find that wife. But first, he makes sure that Eliezer would not dare to find somebody in Canaan for his son. He says the following: ויאמר אברהם אל עבדו זקן ביתו המושל בכל אשר לא שים נא ידך תחת ירכי, makes him swear, ואשביעך באדוני אלוהי השמיים ואלוהי הארץ, אשר לא תיקח אישה לבני מבנות הכנעני אשר אנוכי יושב בקרבו. Do not take, swear to me that you won't take anyone from the ארץ Canaan that I'm dwelling, I'm sitting by. כי אל ארצי ואל מולדתי תלך, go to my homeland, ולקחת אישה לבני ליצחק. Over there you'll find a wife for my son Yitzchak. The Meforshim ask over here a simple question. I understand, in Eretz Canaan, women weren't good. They were idol worshippers of the Avodah Zarah. But why is it better when you go to a place like this land of Lavan and Betuel and marry a daughter from such a family that are also idol worshippers? Says the Kliyakar, fascinating, beautiful Kliyakar. He says, לא תיקח אישה לבני מבנות הכנעני אשר אנוכי יושב בקרבו. First question he asks is, what does it mean אשר אנוכי יושב בקרבו? I know that Avraham Avinu was sitting in Canaan. Why does he need to emphasize that? Rather, he says that don't marry someone from here, since my son might learn from their bad behavior. And one needs to be extremely careful, even if you have a son that's very righteous, like Yitzchak Avinu. You have to be extremely careful who's the surrounding are, because the Rambam says that a person is pulled by his surrounding. He's nimshach. He gets influenced by his surrounding. So therefore he says, שלא יתחתן בבנות הכנעני, פן ילמד ממעשיהם. כדרך שנאמר בתורה, לא תתחתן בם, כי יסיר את בנך מאחריי. If you marry the wrong person, they'll take you away from me. על כן אמר אשר אנוכי יושב בקרבו. Where should you go? Go to a place that is my hometown and try to see if you can find me a daughter from one of the families in Lavan and Betuel. Over there, you won't learn from their behavior. So it says, the Kliyakar, why? Why is it that he won't learn from their behavior? Why is it that you can marry such a daughter and won't have to worry? יש חשש אחרת, he says, וישתב האבות נמשך לבנים. You should know that the nature of the father, of the mother, of the parents goes to the children. וזה דווקא באותם עבירות הבאים מפאת החומר, כאכילה וזימה וחילוט וקנאה וכל המידות הרעות הנתלים בחומר. Only, says the Kliyakar, the traits of the physical desires, that is what goes as inheritance to the children. And therefore, if a father, if a mother is into a lot of, let's say, eating, or they have bad midot, like jealousy, like anger, like doing things that are not good in any other way in midot, in such things, that they can go as inheritance to the children, and from that you have to stay away. נגעים אלו מתפשטים מאבות לבנים ותולדותיהם כיוצא בהם. אבל עבודה זרה, these are they worship idols, דבר התלוי בשכלו של אדם אינו מתפשט מאבות לבנים. עבודה זרה is idealism, it's in the mind, it's wisdom, it's a certain idea that a person has. עבודה זרה, if a person believes in Avodah Zarah, it doesn't mean that his children would also, because the belief of a person doesn't go in inheritance to the children. If a person believes very much in one thing, the children could be very different. Unlike the midot tovot, midot raot, whatever it is, as anger, as we spoke before, or having to help others, all those things, or even averot, a person that does averot is very much into these desirable sins. These things inherit to the children, but not the thing that are in your mind, your beliefs. כי שלושה שותפים באדם, החומר בא מן האב והאם, the chomer, the material, comes from the parents to the child. This is the partnership that they have between three partners, the mother, the father, and Hashem. The father and mother give the child the chomer, the material, which means all these things that come together with that. The bad character traits, the good character traits, the desires, as we spoke before, anything that had to do with the physic. לפיכך כל מעשי אבות התלויים בחומר ירשו בנים, אבל האמונה, the wisdom, the belief, things that are in the mind, in the heart, that comes from the third partner, and that's הקדוש ברוך הוא. האמונה היא תלויה בשכלו של אדם, והרי הקדוש ברוך הוא נותן נשמה ושכל. The neshama is in the mind, and therefore when you believe one thing, this is something that could be changed because that's Hashem's gift. למה התפשט זה מאבות לבנים? על כן היה מרחיק הכנענים של שטופי זימה. אברהם אבינו knew not to marry anybody from here, since the שטופי זימה, they like to do all kind of immodest things. וכמה מיני עבירות הנתלים בחומר האדם זולת העבודה זרה. They also worship idols, that's true. But when you go to Lavan and Betuel, over there, they have better midot. They also worship idols, but they have better midot. And therefore, when you take their daughter, the midot are there and they're good. But it's one thing that we need to change, and that is her beliefs. Her beliefs we can work on. And that's when Eliezer met Rivka. He was so impressed by her good midot. She was only 3 years old at the time, but the midot shined. And the rest of the belief, that we can be changed. We can work that out because that's something we can convince a person. Because of that, we found Chazal tell us not to marry a bat am haaretz, which is a daughter of somebody who's completely ignorant, who's into worldly things. He doesn't appreciate Torah at all. He's not even religious. Be careful from such daughters. The Taz says it depends what kind of daughter she is, because it depends if she has lev mevin, says the Taz, that she have a heart that understands that the Torah gives life, that the Torah gives us everything that we have. The Torah is the life and the long life. And therefore, if a woman has the heart, the understanding of that concept, you should know that you can marry her. But if she doesn't, that is when Chazal restricted us from marrying such a daughter. And he says more than that. Sometimes a person invests everything in his wife because he'll have a children from this woman. And as long as he's around, so he can teach their children the right path and the right way. But what happens if he's not around anymore? Who's going to teach the children? That's the mother. Now it depends what her beliefs. If she has the wrong beliefs, you have a serious problem. Everything you invested in life, which are your children, this is your only investment in life, will go down the drain. But rather, if she has that lev mevin, that heart that understands what's important in life and the right path, you can marry such a woman. And that's not what Chazal restricted us from marrying.